We are picking up on the bottom of page 454, Update Linked XML Data. Because we checked the box to create a link, we can change the XML file and have the updates automatically go into whatever we had placed in another file. So we're working this time with the sports flyer, and we're going to put an insertion point in the text for extreme sports and take out the word sports from the web address. Now what we should see is in our snippets panel, you should see that change take place as soon as I click off to the side. And yes, it has changed the name of the website. Now we're going to make a change that sticks, so we're going to go to File and we're going to export the XML, and we're going to simply save over the top of what we had. So save, and when you get the dialog box to replace, say yes. Make sure that none of those options are selected in either general or images, just like we did before, and select export. Now we can go back to the card file, and in your links panel there's a link for the XML file, and it shows that it needs to be updated. So if we double click to update the file, automatically our change for our web address is going to be put in. You can then save the postcard file and you can close it. That's one file that you'll be turning in. We can also build layouts with tagged frames so that the elements can automatically go in when the files are imported. You have to be careful about making sure the tag names are exactly the same. That's why we're being very picky about using the capital letters and using the hyphens. And the tag layout needs to have the same structure for the data as in the XML file. The structure is based on the order of the elements in the structure pane. So we'll be making some adjustments as we work through this. We're going to make a new file, this time by opening the template called Rack. And you'll save this out as Rack Sports. And you can see it's partly constructed. Pick up your tags panel and you're going to import tags. So to do that, you're going to select Load Tags, and we're going to pick up the sports flyer that we have created and import the tags from the sports flyer. So now you have all of the tags. We need to open the structure pane, and you can see there's nothing in the root right now. We need to open up and look at the paragraph styles, because we're going to be using the paragraph styles as we import the XML content. So let's take a look and make sure that everything matches. We have web address, we have subhead, we have heading, we have body copy and body list in our paragraph names, and they really need to have the hyphens in there. So we're going to highlight body copy, and if you slow click on it, you can open it, you can change the name this way. If you double click on it, you'll have to change it by opening up the dialog box, and get those hyphens in so that the names match exactly. Pick up your selection tool and select the text frame on page 1. Then in the tags panel, select the main text tag. Now we have the main text coming up in the structure pane, and we're going to go to page 2 and we're going to select the large image on that page, and we're going to choose the main image, Selecting the smaller frame below it, we're going to choose Logo, and selecting the text frame that's below that, we're going to put that for the web address. We're going to go to Window, Arrange, and make sure that you have your sports flyer still open, and you're going to do a 2-up vertical arrangement. The reason we're doing that is so that you can compare the stacking in the structure, because remember, everything has to be structured the same. Since we built everything off of the sports flyer, we need to make sure that the structure matches in the rack. So we're going to pick up the main text, because you can see that's the bottom item. Let's see, we have the main image, the logo, the web address, and main text. So we need to make this match. So we're going to pick up the main text and drag it down below the web address. Make sure you don't nest it. Make sure it falls in right below so that the structure matches. You can then go to Window, Arrange, and consolidate all the windows. Make sure that you have your rack sports active, and then you can import the XML file. We do not need the XML import options or import into selected element. The Merge Content button should be selected. We're going to select the Milton Sports XML that we just updated and select Open. And because everything was pre-tagged, the items go directly in where they were supposed to. Again, we're going to go into the Options menu, and we're going to map the tags to the styles, map by name, and we should be able to select OK. You can then go to View, Structures, Hide Structure, and then View, Structure, and hide your tag markers. Then save your file, and you can close the rack file, and that's the second file you'll be turning in. We are picking up again on page 460. This is stage 2. We're going to be creating files for digital publishing. We're going to create a new document, and we're going to choose mobile options. If you select the View All presets, we're going to look for the iPad preset. In the dialog box on the side for the preset details, you're going to change the name to iPad Sports with a hyphen. The orientation should be portrait. The primary text frame should be unchecked, and then you can create your new file. Then save this into your folder. With the sports flyer, again your active file, choose the Content Collector tool. The Content Collector is this thing with an arrow that looks like a bunch of stuff going into a little box. And once you select it, you're going to get this pop-up at the bottom of your screen. So click on the text frame with the web address to select it. When you select an object with the Content Collector, it's added to the content conveyor. The cursor is going to show you how many items you have picked up. Click the 3-column text frame to select it. Now at the top of the page, you're going to have to zoom out for that. You're going to have to draw a marquee around all of the top images to include the large image, the red insert, and the logo, and that should then become loaded. It's going to show you how many items are selected even though you don't see all of them. Then make your iPad Sports the active file and press B on your keyboard to switch to the Content Placer tool. The cursor is going to show you the number of items loaded in the conveyor. Check the Create Link and the Map Styles options at the bottom of the content conveyor, and make sure the first placement option is selected at the bottom of the content selector. Press the right arrow key twice to navigate to the third item. So that should now become the first item on the conveyor belt. Then press the down arrow key to display the set items in the content conveyor. Press the up arrow to make the entire set active again. Click the top left corner of the page and drag until the preview shows the new object, filling the entire page width. Now the web address item should be active in the conveyor. You're going to click and drag from the left page edge to the right page edge immediately below the image. Then click to place the next active item, which is the last, in the empty space at the bottom of the layout. Make sure you click in a blank spot not inside that red frame. We're going to adjust that to fit the iPad layout shortly. Deselect everything and save your file. At this time, you can also select your sports flyer and you can save that and close it. That's another file you'll be turning in. You're going to take a look at your links for just a moment, and you can see everything is linked according to the frames that it's put in on. We also have a JPEG that's put in. You can update linked content and it won't affect the object attributes. You can update object attributes and it's not going to affect the linked content. Next, we're going to move the text box at the bottom of the page. Select it and make sure that your proxy reference point is the upper left hand corner, and change the position to 36 pixels for X and 770 pixels for the Y value. We can now resize the text frame by simply grabbing the lower right corner of the text frame and dragging it off to fit to the margin. Click to deselect. In the Links panel, click to select the 3-column text frame object. It's really difficult to find because you're looking for the text that's placed into it. Right-click on it and choose Link Options. In the Preserve Local Edits area, check the Size and Shape option, and then click OK. Open your paragraph styles and make these changes under Heading. Change the type size to 42 points. Under Subhead, change the size to 16 points. In Body Copy, change the type size to 11 points and change the leading to 14 points. There is no link between the styles in the original flyer and the styles in the file where the iPad layout is, so we can use the styles to change the appearance of the type without affecting the other locations.